beautiful people. It's Dr. Stephanie. And I was talking to a friend recently, and she said something profound. And it was so profound that I wanted to share it with you because I don't think I'm the only one in this situation. And what she said is that sometimes the giver needs to learn how to receive the gift. And that really was profound and resonated with me because I'm definitely a giver. I feel much more comfortable giving than I do receiving. I give to my clients, I give to my patients, my family, my friends. That is the space that I feel comfortable in. And I never really realized that I wasn't as good at receiving the gift until she brought this up. And then I thought about it and I'm like, hey, that's true. And I thought it was really appropriate to talk about now because we are in the season of Thanksgiving, right? It's about thanks and giving. It's about being thankful and expressing gratitude, which I do daily. I'm so much in that gratitude and that thankful space. And then it's about giving. But the other end of giving is receiving, right? When you give, there's somebody on that receiving end. And why is it that some of us are uncomfortable on the receiving end? We're very comfortable on the giving end, but we're uncomfortable on the receiving end. And when I say some of us, I'm talking about me. And so I started to give some thought to this. And when we think about giving, it's, and receiving, it's about receiving comfort, receiving advice, receiving, gifts, whether they be financial or monetary or otherwise, receiving help, receiving time, all of those things. So I want you to think about all of the things that you can receive and ask yourself, am I comfortable receiving? Because what I discovered is that out of all of those things that I mentioned, I'm not really comfortable receiving any of them. I'm not comfortable receiving help. I'm not comfortable um, receiving. Sometimes I'm better at receiving compliments. So I have gotten better at receiving compliments and fully taking that in. I'm not comfortable receiving people's sacrifice of time or comfort or any of those things. I receive it and I'm grateful for it, but I don't fully receive it. That's what I'm talking. When you fully breathe it in, you let it sit, you let it marinate, you lean into it. That's the part I'm not comfortable with. And I suspect that many of us, very capable, independent, strong, giving type of people may not be as comfortable receiving as we need to be. And what I discovered that is one reason why I'm not as comfortable receiving is because I like to see myself as a giver and I don't like to see myself as needy. But what I realize is there's a difference between being needy and needing. Okay, there's a difference between being needy and needing. Being needy is when somebody is just constantly needy of validation or affirmation or help or support, like they just can't really do anything without help. That's being needy. Being needing just means that you are in need. And who amongst us has never been in need? We're human beings. All of us are in need of something at some point in time. And being able to admit that we are needing or in need requires a level of vulnerability. And I feel really convicted about this because vulnerability is one of those things that I have made it a mantle for me to go there, to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and to have come to this realization recently that I have a hard time being vulnerable about my needs and admitting that I have needs and that at time I am needing of support. of encouragement, of comfort, of help, of extra time, of resources. I am at times needing of all of those things because I'm human and we all are. So I'm challenging myself to think about this season of Thanksgiving as not just about giving thanks and expressing gratitude, not just about giving to those who are in need, but also being conscious of my own needs and being okay with receiving what the giver and the gift is for me, and receiving it in a way that's not superficial, but in a way that's really deep and meaningful. Because in order to fully receive, I have to tap into my vulnerability, right? I have to admit that I'm in need, and then I have to receive and acknowledge that the giver has given me something that I did not have and that I could not produce on my own. So that's what I'm challenging myself to do, is to be a better receiver, to be a better receiver of all of the gifts that people want to give to me, and to be vulnerable. If that means that I feel like I don't have it all together and that's why I'm in need, if it means that I feel like I don't have the answers and that's why I'm in need, if it's that I feel like I'm overwhelmed or out of sorts and that's why I'm in need, it's okay. We're living in some crazy times. And I guarantee that we are all in need of gifts that we all also freely have to give. So the sooner that we are able to admit that we're vulnerable, there are going to be days when we don't have it together. There are going to be days where we need help. There are going to be days where we need compassion. There are going to be days where we need resources. And that's why we have community. That's why we pour into our communities, so that we can all take turns being the giver and being the receiver. So in this month of Thanksgiving, I am committed to giving thanks and being grateful, giving to those who are in need, and receiving when I'm in need from those who have to give. So I hope that you will consider that as well. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in my next video about why it's so hard for me to receive, and it may be hard for you to receive as well. Until next time, bye-bye.